Hello everyone, welcome to my latest haul vid. I've been to a couple of boot fairs over the last couple of weeks. Haven't had a huge amount of success. I did see some bots. There's a lot of damaged ones and sort of junkers, but really not worth picking up, real beaten up. What was left of them was pretty beaten up as well, but I have picked up a few choice items. But before I get onto them, I'll just show you a couple of other little bits I picked up. Firstly, I got myself, because I'm a bit of an old fan of these old cartoons, I got a couple of Danger Mouse DVDs with a good few episodes, about 6 episodes on each one, and also managed to pick up the annual, which is in great condition, so really pleased with that. Now, for 50p, it needs a little bit of work. It's got a broken pin and the motor doesn't work and that, but I actually managed to pick up one of the old original red Zoids, which are like a kit based, well, a lot of them were like dinosaurs and sort of different animals, but they were robotic, supposed to be giant versions, and controlled by little pilots, which the pilot actually, I was chuffed to find that inside the cockpit, inside there, he's still in there, a little gold pilot. A little bit, going back, I suppose a little bit like Diaclone in that way, that these guys were piloted. The motor is packed up, which is quite common with this age toy, because this is going back to the sort of G1 era, possibly just before G1. So, yeah, great little toy to find, 50p, so I'm not knocking that. And the last couple of bits what I picked up, which aren't technically Transformers, but are kind of involved. I actually picked up a couple of G.I. Joes, or Action Force, sort of borderline Action Force when it became G.I. Joe over here as well. I'm not sure of his name, but I'm guessing he's one of the Joes. So again, quite pleased to pick him up. He's in pretty good nick, other than obviously he's not got his weapons and accessories. And the next one I got, which I'm very pleased to pick up, because I never got these ones as a kid. I'm now looking for his partner, or his twin I should say, which is one of the Cobra twins. So really pleased to pick him up as well. And those two, and a Junker G1, which I'll show you now, which is the body of Highbrow. Now he's missing his cockpit part completely, that's been ripped off at some point. But all in all, apart from being a bit mucky and obviously that bit's damaged, missing guns and his headmaster, he's not in bad nick, so it's worth picking up the spares, especially the fact he's still got his chest plate intact, which is always a thing that goes on the old headmasters. Actually, surprisingly enough, I've got more stickers than my better one, although they are tatty, so it gives me an idea what I've got to pick up from repro labels for my one anyway. But yeah, it's always worth having a junker, and those two figures and the junker cost me £1, so not too bad. Now, one thing I was pleased to pick up, I've actually managed to pick up the missing Creo that I needed to complete the set of 12 for the, I think these are the second wave. So I've got the last one, so I might be able to start doing a review of the whole set of 12 and show you what they're like. Starting on proper bots now, I picked up a G1 Micromaster, and I think his name is Flack. He's from the Battle Patrol. Oh, it's going out of focus. But yeah, not bad, in pretty good nick. Not really showing much signs of rust. There's one just slight little dink on the track, and a little bit of paint wear on the track as well, but bearing in mind from the 80s, I think I can live with that. I picked up, we're going sort of size order, I picked up a small animated Prime, which is in great condition, no damage or marks on him at all, really nice tight joints, so pleased to get that. It's more Cyberverse-y sort of size. I also got, now I'm thinking this guy's Scattershot, but I'm not certain, so if anyone else wants to correct me on that. I picked up one of the Scout size, I believe this would have been. is it movie? Because he's got the key activation, so I'm not sure if it's movie or one of the earlier ones. But I had a feeling this was from the movie line. But yeah, nice little bot. Missing his guns and obviously his key, and possibly a gun for the hole on the top there as well. But the actual bot mode doesn't really suffer from that. So yeah, please pick it up. I have seen this guide tons of times. Always broken, always bits missing and not in amongst sort of like the rest of the stuff what I've found him in. So really pleased to pick that up. Now the next ones I actually picked up, and they were in amongst a box of Lego. And the woman at first was saying she just wanted to sell the box as a whole set, and it was only normal sort of Lego. If it had been a more themed one, I might have picked it up and passed the Lego on to Black Rabbit or one of the other guys out there who collects it, but it was just mainly sort of weird junkery bits. And I mean, even she said it's like the bits what are left over from where her kids made stuff, so there wouldn't have been anything complete in there. No minifigs either. I had a good look for that as well. But actually in amongst it I found the ice cream van twins, and they are complete and intact, which I was quite surprised about, because they've obviously been through the ringer a bit going through a box of Lego. But yeah, so I picked those up, and there was a movie skids in there as well, so got him. And one I was quite pleased to pick up because it's a recolour of a character, but it is one I've sort of been looking for as I've been boot fairing. And yet another Donnie Darko head, but I picked up movie Smokescreen, which is a recolour of movie Jazz, and I think you can see what I mean about the Donnie Darko head. Weird ears. Never understood why they've done that on the mould, but who am I to judge? Yeah, but a good toy nonetheless. Missing his gun, but it's only the same as the normal Jazz weapon, so I think I might have a spare of that I can give him anyway. But yeah, really pleased, and the car mode is all intact and the paint is perfect on it, so very pleased. And I paid a grand total of £1 for those. And the last one, now he is missing a couple of things. He's missing 2 weapons which become part of his transformation, and a sort of shield, almost like a claw weapon I think from what I've seen pictures of, but it doesn't really affect his robot mode, so for display it doesn't matter too much, and if I find the bits later that's great. But I actually managed to find another universe figure, and I've got, now I'd call him Tankor, but of course it's Octane really from G1, triple changer, but like I say, he's missing his 2 guns and his sort of grabby shield sort of weapon, but apart from that, remarkably in good nick. No sort of paint wear on the wings or on any of the arm parts, and all of these little propellers are all intact as well. And I got him for a grand total of 50p, so that made my day. And the more of these sort of universe toys that crop up, the happier I'll be, because they are rather nice. And that, I'm afraid, is my haul. Like I say, Transformers and sort of boys' toys, like the sort of more early teen sort of age toys, have been a bit sort of scarce on the ground, out and about at the boot fairs. A lot of girls' toys and a lot of the toddler sort of age toys. But it is that sort of thing, it's just sort of sometimes you scratch around and you don't tend to find much, and then you might just come across somebody who's just selling a great big collection of them, and you'll just buy tons in one hit, so you never know. But like I say, that's my haul for this past 2 weeks. I didn't think it was enough. There was only a couple of bits last week, it weren't enough to do a vid, so I thought I'd leave it for the second week. But with any luck, I should be going around some more this weekend hopefully, so as long as the weather holds out. So I might see you again for another haul vid after this coming weekend, unless I get a chance to do a review in the coming week. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please feel free to comment and subscribe, and I shall see you again. Thanks for watching.